Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for being here, for stopping on in. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Today we're listening to a little Paul Simon. We're going to listen to this track late in the evening. This is coming off of his fifth studio album, One Trick Pony, which was released in 1980. We're listening to this because I wanted to listen to Paul Simon. That's how we got here. There wasn't anything really necessarily else besides that. But I do see, however, that this particular track had been mentioned and suggested by some of you. Just some of the names that I see, and apologize if I missed some of you, but I see Gaia Eternal, Dave, over on the other side of the ocean, over in London. Courtney Wallace, you mentioned this one as well. And actually, Dave, I see you a couple more times here, going back as far as 3 years ago. So thank you so much. Let's go ahead and dive on into the song. We'll, of course, discuss it a little bit after. You know what I should do before we dive into the song? I should pull up the song so that we can actually dive into it. You don't want to dive into a sea that, you don't want to dive into a pool that has no water, of which I almost just did. Here we go. I like the playing on the sticks or on the sides of the rims. Good. Like that kind of jazzy.
First thing I remember, I was lying in my bed. I couldn't have been no more than 1 or 2. And I remember there was a radio coming from the room next door. And my mother laughed the way some ladies do. When it's late in the evening and the music seeping through.
Great drums.
Next thing I remember, I'm walking down the street. I'm feeling alright. I'm with my boys and with my troops, yeah.
Great drums and percussion.
And down along the avenue, some guys were shooting pool, and I heard the sound of a cappella groups, yeah. Singing late in the evening, and all the girls out on the stoops, yeah. Then I learned to play some guitar. I was underage in this funky bar, and I stepped outside and smoked myself a J. And when I come back to the room, everybody just seemed to move, and I turned my amp up loud and I began to play. And it was late in the evening, and I blew that room away.
Kind of like hitting this Graceland kind of style. I like those soft backing harmonies behind them.
First thing I remember when you came into my life, I said I'm gonna get that girl no matter what I do. Well, I guess I've been in love before, and once or twice I've been on the floor, but I never loved no one the way that I love you. And it was late in the evening, and all the music seeping through.
Okay, this is a really cool song, and it's really cool how it sounds kind of like reminiscent of Graceland from him. Well, that's a fantastic song. Okay, really, really fantastic song from back to front. Honestly, it ended a little too soon for me. I was kind of hoping a little bit it was going to go on for at least like a minute longer. We could have rode out that outro a little bit. The drumming on here is the first and immediate standouts, and this is very reminiscent to me of his album Graceland as well. You have a star-studded lineup here. Steve Gadd on the drums, Tony Levin on the bass, and those are the two names that like really stuck out to me. Not to just take away from anyone else, but okay, Gadd on the drums. I guess that explains the tightness and how wonderful it sounds. I love how it opens up playing on the rims of the drums alongside of the toms to kind of start up the rhythm and give it something a little bit different than the typical. Yes, rims are used in drums a decent amount, but not a lot. Not a lot. And it's really cool to hear like just kind of straight playing on them. Not just like the rim of the snare for like something jazzy or loungy, but to actually involve them quite a bit throughout the track. I think that was really intelligent. And obviously the creative drumming from Gadd and that pocket kind of style that he has as well comes through really nicely, while those tight fills also shine. Like just great drumming all around. And I like how later on we get just basically a drum and percussive break. You're also going to have Ralph McDonald on cowbell and tempo blocks here. So you hear a little bit of that inserted into the track amongst Gadd's drumming. And it just makes this a very lively and rhythmic feel to listen to. You have that muted guitar tone, bam, 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 that just kind of moves things along at a steady pace. That's Eric Gale handling the electric guitar, and then Hugh McCracken handling the acoustic beyond that. And then you have Dave Grusin on those big horn arrangements. I mean, those just blast out in such a grand kind of way. And I like how the music underneath it still remains the same. Like you still have that guitar, bum, 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 bum. You have a nice harmony of voices back there that are very softly and gently, just kind of harmonizing, providing a little through line of melody. But then on top of all that, you just have horns blasting in your face. So it's really cool how you have a lot of different sections to concentrate on and to get something out of in here. And obviously Simon himself sounds really good. He sounds great, super comfortable. He sounds like he is just kind of moving with the music and really feeling it, allowing the vibe of it to kind of cast itself onto him. And he's just dancing up on stage. That's how I see him. He's performing with this one. He's just having a great time. He may even get a drink in the midst of it, like when the drummers and the musicians get to those instrumental sections. He's just chilling up there. The first thing I remember, I was lying in my bed. It couldn't have been no more than 1 or 2. I remember there's a radio coming from the room next door, and my mother laughed the way some ladies do. When it's late in the evening and the music's seeping through, that music's coming on through your window, your door, your walls. And next thing I remember, I'm walking down the street, feeling all right. I'm with my boys, I'm with my troops. And down along the avenue, some guys were shooting pool, and I heard the sound of acapella grooves, singing late in the evening and all the girls out on the stoops. So everywhere he's going, late in the evening, he's hearing some form of music. Then I learned to play some lead guitar. I was underage in this funky bar, and I stepped outside to smoke myself a J. Who knows what that could stand for? And when I came back to the room, everybody just seemed to move. And I turned my amp up loud and I began to play. It was late in the evening and I blew that room away. He says, I came back high and mighty. First thing I remember when you came into my life, I said, I'm going to get that girl no matter what I do. Well, I guess I've been in love before, and once or twice I've been on the floor, but I never loved no one the way I loved you. It was late in the evening and the music was seeping through. Music has been there all his life in some capacity, seeping into the crevices of his life. And it repeats those lyrics again. I think that this was a really fun song, especially rhythmically. It says this was his first single release for Warner. It became a hit on several charts worldwide. In the US, it hit number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100, and internationally, top 20 hit in the Netherlands, Belgium, and New Zealand. Received praise for his lyrics, the horn interlude, and the famous drum beat, referred to as a groove by drummer Steve Gadd. I mean, yeah, that's a simple way to put it, I suppose. A very humble way to say it. He devised the distinctive drum part by using 2 pairs of drumsticks, one in each hand, in order to give the impression of 2 drummers playing together. You know, it does sound like there's at least two drummers and like or at least a drummer and a percussionist, like a pure dedicated percussionist doing that. He plays a New York City style Cuban Mozambique drum groove. And of course, here's all your chart information. This was a fantastic track. I'm kind of curious, if you don't mind indulging me a little bit. I don't know why. I kind of sounded like Christopher Walken. If you don't mind, and that's not even close to indulging. I kind of sounded a little bit. I was trying to see if I could find that clinic. We're not watching the whole thing, just do the copyright, but let's get a piece of it.
The late in the evening thing, I'll tell you, so this is another way I'll show you how I get
I'm just skipping around because, like I said, just
a lot of
copyright
mileage.
stuff.
So it's
Honestly, it's a simple thing, but man, does it make a difference. You also kind of have a flam in there with the slight delay between sticks. What did he say?
Does that sound familiar?
I mean, yeah, I would say so.
I think I'm gonna try it on another song and use like.
Let's see. I think that's really cool. It's such a simple thing. Hold on, show us like a little. Yeah. Yeah. See, like that is so creative, and it's such a simple concept. Oh, let's add more sticks to my hand. But the way he does it, and how he actually creatively uses certain sticks here on the rims, or like, I think that is incredibly insightful. Very, very insightful. But of course, it's Steve Gadd, so I expect insightful. Let me know what you guys thought down below in the comment section. I appreciate you all being here. The Buy Me a Coffee's there if you'd like to sponsor a song request, or the Patreon for exclusive content. And if you don't mind just pressing that like button, it helps and goes a great way. Have a fantastic rest of your day, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.